by now you would have felt that just with a little bit of sensation, your body's releasing the strain. And when your body releases the strain, it will give you those natural movement patterns. In the old days, when I was working with people with, say, postural issues, I'd spend my time releasing and then giving them a movement, a modified movement. What I love with listening to the body in this way, and particularly our body's fascia, is that the body moves when it's ready and it will give you coaxing, pulsing movements. So, in this lesson, we're going to explore how the body can reorganize. So, when you're stuck, it reorganizes, right? And it requires hydration, so softening and hydrating. Remember the body bounce, it's that hydration. And it's that same hydration sensation that happens when the body's wanting to reorganize. So you rest, release, the body remembers, and it starts to reorganize. So that's where we're going to next. Now, before we go there, I just want to share with you that we are born to move with ease like this at any age. And the thing that prevents us is when our body feels stiff. We produce less hyaluron as we age. Hyaluron is the molecule that absorbs with water and gives us the plumpness in our skin. And movements like these, natural movement patterns that are effortless, will help you make the most of your hyaluron. And you really need to move. It's absolutely essential, especially as we're aging. So you're going to meet me on the ground for this one. We're going to start on the ground and just resting on your back. So just start with resting on your back like this. And I will guide you through an audio practice too. So remember that we have video and audio. Video is just for you to maybe explore. I would encourage you to listen to the sound of my voice when you're using this practice. So come and rest on the ground and find what feels most easeful. Does it with your legs further apart? If you find that your foot starts to wiggle or your shoulder starts to wiggle, just let that happen with ease. And take a few moments to just come to ease. If you feel that you want to bend your knee and get into your lower back and wiggle a little bit, please feel free to do that. So, in the first part of this practice, you're just coming to rest on the ground and release a little bit of stuckness and strain that might be there in your body. And then come to rest. And let's begin with a little bit of a skin gliding motion. So remember, skin gliding with your legs unfolded. You can add a little pulsing movement at your feet that can continue throughout your body. Where do you place your arms? Are your arms further away? If they're too far away, it might give you strain. So just noticing, where are you placing your body? You can pause at any time and come back to the pulse. Just starting with a bit of a pulsing movement. You can rest in between. So let's just begin with that. You can rest in between. Your body might start to give you spontaneous breaths. If you feel like you need to wiggle somewhere, please feel free. And then we do the same pulsing movement with our knees bent. So once again, just adding a bit of a rocking motion. And with this rocking motion, you could have a quick pulse. And with that quick pulse, it can go all the way to your neck and shoulders. Remember, the fabric, your fascia moves as one. There are no individual areas. You might notice sensations in your shoulders, your arms. How do they respond? Might take a little pause. And then you could take that motion a lot slower. So really slow it down and move the floor away one way and then the other way. You send the floor one way. It's just a sensation. You find the floor with your feet and you're sending the floor away from you. And then you release it. So in these practices, just as we did in pandiculation, as you send the ground away from you, slow sensation, your body may take a spontaneous breath, and that's an expansion. This fascial net expands. And then a sigh. Okay, so finding that sensation of sending the ground away. And as soon as your body hears the sensation, remember your body's listening, it will take a spontaneous breath. And then a sigh. Your body does that spontaneously. As soon as it hears a sensation, sending the ground away, your body takes a breath in. It does it on its own. I'm just asking you to notice. And then a sigh. And then you can pause and come back to a slightly quicker motion if you wish. And let's rest for a moment. And you might find that your pelvis starts to rock. If it doesn't, could you invite a little rocking motion of your pelvis? And this is where this pelvic rocking starts to soften any stuckness and strain in the area around your lower back or inside. Remember that your fascia is continuous to the inside of your body. And how do you find what feels good? How do you find what feels soothing, nurturing in this rocking motion? And the secret to easing through the hips is to soften the gel. So you're listening and you're resting and you're allowing. How do you notice the way that your thigh bones move? You could also notice a heaviness of your pelvis. So resting your pelvis may ease a little bit of strain. And in this first part of the practice, we're just calming the stuckness and strain in your body. So important for your fascia to reorganize. So if you're feeling easeful or you're feeling like, oh, this feels good, your fascia's already, remember this fabric that gives you structure can get stuck. It's already softening the stickiness. And you might find that you're starting to rock a little further. And let that happen until you feel like your knees are swaying towards the ground. And every now and again, could you pause and add a bit of a pulsing movement? So you may drop your knees to your right or left side and add a pulse, and then come back and rock and add a pulse. Just to find softness and ease in the entire fabric of your body. Please feel free to pause at any time. Just add a little pulsing movement. And in this pulse, you might find that you're reaching that top knee away. So if you dropped to your left side, your right knee is reaching and pulsing. Just add a pulse. If it doesn't feel good for you, please let that go and find what feels better for you. You never want to move through something that feels uncomfortable or it doesn't feel right for you. And then you come back and rock again. And every now and again, you'll notice how your body takes spontaneous breaths in as you reach and pulse. Okay, and then you can let go of that. And let's unfold the legs for a moment. And now, can you bend your right knee, just bending the right knee, keeping the left leg unfolded on the ground? And this time, we're sending the floor away. So standing into your right foot and letting the knee reach forward and noticing how your body takes a breath in and then a sigh as you come back. So remember, we're mobilizing this area around the hip in a natural way. It's natural. As soon as you send the ground away, your pelvis starts to roll. You could add a bit of a pulsing motion if you wish, and then you come back. So please feel free to explore that on your right side and notice that when you send the ground away and you pulse, it goes all the way to your neck and shoulders. So everything moves. And the parts where you pause are also really powerful. There is stuff happening when you rest. Your fascia has time to change from stuck to supple. And then you explore the opposite side. So resting, this time bending your left knee, just reaching your thigh bone forwards. Your body may take a spontaneous breath, ooh, ah, and then a sigh as you come back. So remember, as soon as you send the ground away, you might notice an expansion as the breath arrives, and then a sigh. So finding those, ooh, I just need to get into there, that sensation. And the reason that we find and explore what feels good is it gives our nervous system a chance to calm down. Our nervous system and our fascia are integrated. Sensation happens at lightning speed. So the body can shift your mind just through sensation. So shifting the way that you think and feel. And then you can come back to rocking perhaps. So in this next practice, just find the freedom to explore. So on the ground, move in a way that is spontaneous, just finding, ooh, let's find that freedom in between my guidance, just finding freedom. Okay? And then in the next part, as you're rocking your pelvis from side to side, could you rock all the way to your right or left side and come up into seated? So come into a seated position like this. And let's find a moment to rest here. And in this next practice, remember how you were reaching your thigh bone to the ceiling as you were lying down. It's the same sensation here, except that we're resting in seated and we're hanging out. So when you're sitting in this position, really let your shoulder release. It's as if you're just hanging out at the beach and your body can soften, doesn't have to be upright, you can let go. And let's reach this knee that's pointing up to the ceiling. Can you reach that forward? And allow the body to take a spontaneous breath in. It's an expansion. And then a sigh. So remember in pandiculation, there's that urge, oh, I just need to get into there. And then a sighing sensation. It's the same here. And as you reach the thigh bone forward, you maybe even want to hold on to your ankle or just reaching forward and notice how the area around your hips are beginning to lubricate, right? You're hydrating, you're moisturizing. And then a sigh. And not only is it happening in the area around your thigh bone and your pelvis, you're moisturizing, you're unwinding. It's an unwinding motion. That area between the pelvis and the hip, the fascia winds itself. So you're unwinding that area. So remember, the body doesn't stretch, it unwinds fascias wraps around the body in a winding motion, in a spiral motion. And you reach that thigh bone forwards. Ooh, get right into where it feels stuck in that area of your pelvis. And then you sigh, right? And we can then hold on to the outer edge of the foot and bring it all the way across. And this one will get into your lower back. So we get into the lower back. And then a sigh as we come back. Ooh, finding that expansion. And then a sigh. Like that. So every time you move, the body feels the fascial web expand and the breath comes in, and then a softening and a sigh, right? And next, sending the ground away just with your hand. So you're sending the floor away and add a little pulsing movement here. Just a little pulsing movement. You can get into your lower back. And what's so amazing with all of these patterns of motion, and you're really just tuning into the body's natural patterns of movement, not only is it winding the whole fabric, you're getting into your lower back, your pelvis, and even the thigh bone that's on the ground, your foot. So the whole fabric is moving. And really, that's how you hydrate, through your pelvis and through the rest of the body. But we can also have movements, your body will give you movements that can hydrate through your pelvis. So we've explored a few movements on this side for hydration. And let's explore sending the ground away. And this time just pulsing, you're pulsing. And now from here, how do you send the floor away and move yourself over to the opposite side? Like this. Okay. Now, before we begin on this side, you might have gotten a bit lost here and wondered, oh, how did you get there? Everything moves in your whole fascial fabric just when your body hears the sensation. So when children begin to move on the ground, they're moving based on sensing the ground. And you're just sending the floor away with your hands. That sensation continues throughout your body. You can then move yourself into this squat position, unwind over to the opposite side, and just rest here. Doesn't matter how you land. If you land with where it feels easeful for you, if you can't come and sit on your heel, it's fine. You might come to the ground or just wait here. Instead of trying to get somewhere, take a moment to pause and rest and allow your body to come to that position on its own. Okay? So this is how you move over to the opposite side. That's one way. And then, of course, if that doesn't work for you, just swap sides if that's going to be the easiest thing, right? So I'm just guiding you to how these natural movement patterns can emerge when your fascia begins to soften. And if that doesn't happen for you, take that moment to pause, listen, sense the ground, and let your body move to where it goes to on its own. Really, that's what Move with Ease is all about. It's listening to where your body is at, allowing the tissue to soften, and then you begin to move. Okay, so now that we're on this side, let's hang out. We take that moment to pause. Okay, and let's unwind the pelvis on this side. And then we sigh. So my arm is resting on my knee. You could have your hand holding onto your ankle if you wish. And when you hold onto your ankle, you stop this knee from falling in. Okay, so you're just unwinding. Notice how everything moves. You're softening on the inside, and as you send, even if you send the floor away with your hand, you can find the spiral motion. It's an unwinding motion. So you're unwinding, hydrating, moisturizing. You're moist. Think about sticky and you want lubrication, moisturizing so that your hips can move with ease. Okay, without having to stretch. And then you hold on to the outer edge of your thigh and bring it across. And this motion here, it's going to move a little, can go all the way to your lower back. And you can practice these movements on your own. We're born to move on the floor like this. And if you can spend time on the ground every day, even just spending time on the floor, from lying down to coming into seated like this, hanging out. Okay, it's really important to move with ease on the ground because you're sensing through the floor. And it's these movements that you cannot do anywhere else. We're designed to move in this way through sensation, right? And because we sit in chairs and our days are not designed around natural movement patterns, we lose this. We lose this. From the time we start sitting in chairs, we lose our ability to move with ease. And it doesn't matter how old you are, you can still come back to these natural patterns by coaxing. And this is the way, is to listen, to coax, to go get to areas that feel a little bit stuck. Okay? And then to find that ease as you come back down to the ground. And if you want to explore here and find where do I want to go to next, you might find that you come onto your hands and knees. And if you do, once again, just rest here. Wherever your hands land, don't try and position them in the right way. Just whatever feels comfortable. And so this is one of my favorite practices, is to rest here. So come and join me, hands and knees. And remember, you're listening to your body sensation. Where does it feel comfortable here? Move around. Feel free to move around and adjust. Just let your body find its way. And in this, we come to the pandiculation sensation that you felt in your earlier lessons in 4-point kneeling. When you're hanging out, you start moving like a cat, right? This is pandiculation. Is it, the urge to pause, unwind, and then there's the sigh. And this is a natural movement pattern. So just rest and unwind. Let your body move around. And these pandiculation sensations, like a whole body yawn, ooh, ah, that may arise, might come up for you, not in exactly the same way as it does for me, and that's okay. What's so important for you is to find rest and ease. So this is really great for softening through the lower back, your pelvis. And as you start to unwind, the whole net expands. So not only are you getting into your neck and shoulders and lower back, you just notice how the bones in your body move. And remember, you coaxing and pulsing. You don't have to stretch a particular area. You're just coaxing and pulsing, unwinding, listening. Most important part is the listening. And then when you're ready, your body will move to just bringing the knees together. Now, your hands on the ground are there for supporting you if you have any strain. So, for example, if you can't sit back onto your heels, your body will keep you here. It's always going to take you to where it feels most easeful. If you close your eyes, you can listen. You can listen inward and allow your body to be in a place where it feels best. So you never want to force or strain. Please feel free to move into a position that feels best without having to think about it. Let your body sense it. Okay, so just finding that. And then we come back into sitting in a side seated position like this. So come back into side sitting. And it doesn't matter if your knees are together or they're apart, it really doesn't matter. It's just coming into side sitting. And in this next practice, we're going to just send the ground away again so that you can practice sending the floor away and coming back a little like that. It's one way. And now let's take the feet forward, holding on to the balls of the feet. And we're going to add a movement for the whole body. So moving your feet towards the ground. You begin the movement from your feet, moving towards the ground, and then add a bit of a pulsing movement here. Right, you add a bit of a pulse to release any areas of strain that you might be holding in your body. Okay, and can you notice when you're pulsing that those kind of stiff areas begin to soften? And what else do you notice? So what else do you observe? And when you're ready, you can let go of that and join me again in side sitting. So whether you were here, and this time from side seated position, can you unfold the leg that's on the top and just roll and let your hands support you here. So this is really great for now. If you find that you're stuck here, your hands will support you. If you find that it's difficult to come to the ground, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where you are. You can be here or you can be here. What matters is that you find what feels best for you. And then you uncurl, you curl the back foot. You curl the back foot and add a little bit of a pulsing movement like this. And that's going to really soften any tight areas in the front of your pelvis, in your hip. Just a little pulsing movement. You can rock from side to side like this. Also very helpful. So now you're softening the areas, you're becoming more mobile. It's going to help you to release not just in your pelvis, your lower back, so that when you roll over and you come to sit in side sitting, you can sit with ease here. Okay, so let's explore the opposite side. Now, how do we move over to that side? Doesn't matter. You were here, you were unwinding here. You can move to here. You could simply fold. There's different ways. This way is probably the easiest. And you begin to explore on the opposite side, pulsing. Find what feels easeful. If you find that you want to rest on the ground, you can. So another way with this practice, you can uncurl the back foot. You can rest on your elbows and find a rocking motion here. You can curl the toes under and add a little pulsing movement here. It's moving with ease. It's a really great motion to ease any areas in the front of your pelvis as well. Just to unwind and find what feels good. Releasing the strain. And please feel free to rest at any time. You don't have to continue if it feels effortful. Always pause and come back. And then you can maybe bring the knee in and add a little rocking motion here. Okay? And the most important part of the practice is to move to where it feels easeful for you. So we come back to sitting with ease in this position. And I leave you at the end of this lesson to spend some time on the ground. And I am going to guide you in an audio session. There'll be some audio sessions that really help you to listen to your body. I'd love to hear how that landed for you and where you are on your journey on this course.